That bum didn't take my $100 because I got a boat with a motor.
Shut up and paddle.
Yeah, I'm a paddle. I'm a paddle his ass when I'm a paddle your ass when I find you. I know you. I'm gonna use this rope. I'm gonna roll your ass till it bleeds. This looks like a big joint.
I'm serious, Mr. Jarrell.
You lick it and smoke it. I think it was two of these and you smoked the other one. Put it in your bag and stop smoking scrolls. You know, it looks like a joint, and you might get jumped by some Rastafarians walking around just so the way. Excuse me, I have a game to play. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I don't want no trouble. No trouble. I'm sorry. I just want some chips. I want some chips, that's all. I don't want the chips. See? Chip, that's it. Turn that over, man. It's burning. It's burning. Turn it over. It's burning. Just want some chips.
Yak Roy.
What is it?
Yak Roy. Good to keep the yang up.
Ain't nothing wrong with my yang. That is a cool trick. Did you ever think about going into show business? Because I can be your partner. I throw a rock at you, you make it float off and hit the wall, standing ovation all over. Did you ever hear Ed McMahon's Star Search? Do they have Star Search in Tibet? Probably not. Probably have food search. But you know what we can do? We can all go on Star Search, right? And we can give the audience rocks and let them throw them at you, and then you can move your hand and make them all hit Ed McMahon. Hard. Hey, bird, did you just see a little Hare Krishna midget in a tree floating? Or is it me? It must be Rod Serling. I thought you said I was supposed to stay on the path.
Yeah, but you got no weapons to break the rules.
Well, how many people have survived this test?
None.
None! I'm gonna break your ass when I get out of here! She's 16 years old. Her name is Cheryl Mosley.
Thank you so much, Chandler. Now, let's talk about tortoises. Judy, what have we got here? This is great.
Oh, this is Teddy, and he's 80 years old.
We're 80?
You darling.
He's wonderful.
You kiss my ass. Listen, I'm trying to find this girl. Okay, her name is Cheryl Mosley. She was last seen on Vineland down in North Hollywood. She had on a sweater and a skirt. I'd appreciate it if you contact me at 468-8492. If you have any...
Thank you.
No, shut up, man. If you have any information that leads to the finding of this girl, I'd appreciate it if you contact me. Yo, hey, if you don't put the camera, I'll bust your ass, man. Leave the camera on. Cheryl Mosley, Chandler Jarrell, 24 hours a day, 468-8492. Now you can talk about whatever you want to talk about with the tortoises and whatever. Excuse me.
Thank you. That was Chandler Jarrell.
Only a man whose heart is pure can wield the knife. Only a man whose ass is narrow can get down these steps. And if mine is such an ass, then I shall have it. Hold it right there. No, I'm not crazy. I'm Agent Chandler Jarrell from the American Stolen Artifacts Foundation. Everybody, it's okay. I'm the Stolen Artifacts Foundation man. Freddie, get out of my sight. You make me sick, Freddie. I'll talk to you on the plane, Freddie. Nobody be alarmed. I'm Chandler Jarrell, American Stolen Artifacts Foundation of America. And thanks to you, we were able to catch this man, Freddie, the piece of shit back there. And I thank you, and I thank the good people of Nepal. A bunch of brilliant workers, all of you. Thank you, sir. You are one hell of a leader, because you, the keen, the cunningness, the instinct. The instinct is brilliant. And I can tell you trained under this man, because you have the same glare in your eye of brilliance. And you don't even know what you did, but you're brilliant anyway, because brilliance is the best brilliance is brilliance born from someone ignorant. Okay. This is my assistant, Ki Nang here, and we thank you all. It's Agent 69, and we thank you all. The people of Nepal, we thank you. You're a bunch of beautiful, brilliant people. Nepal! N-E-P-A-L! Viva Nepal! Viva Nepal!
So you're the finder of lost children.
Oh, you must have saw me on television.
Yeah, I like working with you.
Hey, Chandler! Come on, will you, okay?
Shut up!
My dear sweet brother Numpspa. I can see you're busy right now.
Come back some other time.
I'll repeat my offer one last time.
Well, I am dreaming, so I can pretty much say anything and get away with it. So, I think I'll say, from my heart, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass!
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I've been wanting to review this film for a while because, believe it or not folks, this is without a doubt one of my favorite comedies of all time. Like literally, one of my top 10 favorite comedies of all time. It's my favorite Eddie Murphy film. Yes, that is The Golden Child from 1986. Eddie Murphy is the chosen one. And The Golden Child, I love to death. It is in my top 10 favorite comedies. It is my favorite Eddie Murphy film. I still love Beverly Hills Cop. I still love 48 Hours. But Golden Child, ever since I was a kid, was always close to my heart. Plus, it's the film that gets shit on in his early work. I don't think it deserves it. I don't get it. I will never understand it, and I don't want to understand it. But the film, it's written by Michael Ritchie, who, this guy's directed a bunch of flicks. I mean, you go over his filmography, he directed The Bad News Bears, the original, Semi-Tough, Student Bodies, Fletch, Wildcats. He directed, the last film he did was a film called Simple Wish. He did Diggstown with, oh my god, Louis Gossett Jr. He's no longer with us, though. He passed away in 2001 from prostate cancer, I believe, which is too bad. But Michael Ritchie, I think he did a good job. Apparently, John Carpenter was approached to direct this film, but as we all know, in 1986, he went on to do Big Trouble in Little China, which is very strange because, you know, those are pretty similar type of films. But apparently this film, you know, some info about it. First off, apparently Eddie Murphy's first guy he wanted to direct it was George Miller, guy who did The Road Warrior, but things didn't work out. And apparently before Eddie Murphy, there was just meant to be a more serious film starring Mel Gibson. So thank God that didn't happen. I'm glad we got this. But Eddie Murphy, basically he's a guy who, you know, he's a founder of Lost Children. He's called Chandler Jarrell. I mean, the whole opening, you have the great song, "You're the best man in the world, the best man in the world." I did a shitty job of that, but go see the movie to see a good job of it. But establishing the location that Eddie Murphy's living at in Hollywood, and you know, just everything about this. Every time Eddie Murphy opens his mouth in this flick, it makes me laugh my ass off. When he's looking at a guy who's looking at porn, and he goes, "Butt cake." You know, I think there's a sequel to that called Butt Pie. No, I fucked that up. It's Butt Pie. I think there's a sequel to that called Butt Cake. It's like a butt with cake all over it. Chunky asses? Everything about this movie just cracks me up. I mean, long story short, you have the Golden Child, who I believe was actually played by a girl, even though it's supposed to be a boy, but I think it was actually played by a girl, and if that's the case, good job on her. Fooled me. But the golden child is taken by a group of people led by Charles Dance for evil purposes. And you have a woman, Charlotte Lewis, wanted to get her name right, who sees Chandler Jarrell on the TV, and you have that great scene where he's on this group with this asshole, dumbass fucking interviewer guy, where every time Eddie Murphy tries to talk about, a girl that's missing, he interrupts him with this bullshit. Then he just going to talk to Teddy the Turtle, and Eddie Murphy's like, yeah, Teddy can kiss my ass. Listen, this girl is Cheryl Mosley, give him the info, and then the camera pans on the guy, he's like, hey, dude, camera on me or I'll bust your ass. And basically he gives his info, now you know everything but the tourists and everything, and goodbye. And basically Charlotte Lewis finds him, and playing basketball, he's like, I see you're the family lost children. Oh, I love kids. Hey, Chandler, come on. Shut up! Or it's like he's talking about, she's telling about the golden child in Tibet, and he's like, gives him a scroll, he's like, this looks like a big joint. You lick it and smoke it. Yeah, I think you had 2 of these, and you smoked one when you got here. This is a good joint. You might want to put that away. There's some Rastafarians around here, and they might jack your stuff. It's funnier than, jeez. But basically, he goes looking for this girl and finds out that she's been killed. And for some reason, there's like food and there's blood in it, and he's wondering what's going on. He's trying to investigate. And long story short, he ultimately takes Charlotte Lewis's case. And just funny situations where, like, he meets with, actually, actor James Hahn, who's Lil Pen in Big Trouble in Little China. Speaking of Big Trouble in Little China, he was the bad guy Lil Pen. He's there. And there's like a girl behind a fucking little screen. And he's like, what are you doing tonight? She's silly way, it's kicking. And you hear like, shh. Oh, she got maracas too? Like, it's totally oblivious. Just what I love about this film is absolutely a normal guy thrust into extraordinary circumstances. And why I say every time Eddie Murphy opens his mouth, I laugh, is because he has a great normal reaction to this crazy shit going on. You just watch Eddie Murphy. Just, like, of course it's don't, if you're in that situation, you're like, Tibet, golden childs, demons, like he's leaving and he's like, what's that girl's deal? And Charlie Lewis goes, well, she's been around for 300 years, and he goes, how's that happen? Well, her mother was raped by a dragon. And he pauses and goes, that happened a lot where you're from? Like, this, like, ultimate smart ass. But think about it, if you're in this situation, you're kind of a smart ass about that too. He just, every time he reacts like I would react. I think like a lot of us react like, what the fuck is this about? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? But that's what I love about it. That's what I always love about it. I mean, everything from the score by, who did the score? Michael Colombier. Down, 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 ba-da. To the great songs like The Best Man in the World, on the band Rat. There's the song, Body Talk, I hear you body talk, I hear your body talk today. Just everything, I mean, from, every time, when it goes to the golden child, you don't really care, but it's not too long. It's like, okay, let's keep in track with the golden child, he's trapped. You have, Randall Tetz Cobb, who I always remember from Uncommon Valor, sort of a simpleton type of guy. You have that scene that's kind of a promotional advertising for Pepsi, because he takes a smash can of Pepsi, the golden child, and makes it dance for the Randall Tetz Cobb. But then Charles Dance puts a stop to it. And like, the golden child can do like astral projection at times. So like Eddie Murphy sees it, and he's like, hey bird! Because if all of a sudden a bird's there, you see a little Hare Krishna midget in a tree floating? Was that just me? He hears the phone, it's like, hey, that's Rod Serling. I don't know, I think the dialogue is extremely rapid fire, extremely well done. Just everything just made me laugh my ass off. I gush about this movie. I don't care. If I'm going to be the biggest fan of The Golden Child, I'm proud to be it. I love the fucking movie to death. Just, then he gets info that who might have killed the girl that he was looking for beforehand. Might have been these bikers. He goes over the wall and it's like a fucking family doing a barbecue. Pulls out a guy, just want some chips. Just want some chips. Hey, try that over, man. It's burning. Try that over. And he gets stopped, and Charlie Lewis comes in and kicks ass. And Eddie Murphy says, "No, what are you doing in here?" And I said I would handle it. Get some more info. Go to another guy. I'll do the karate shit. Because there's a guy, and he fucks up the chair that Eddie Murphy's holding, but Charlie Lewis comes in and kicks ass. And Eddie Murphy's like, "How do you do that?" With the flip. And goes after him, and then, Charles Dance comes and kills the Asian guy, the martial arts guy. Eddie Murphy finds it, and Charlotte Lewis is there. He's like, "You killed him." He's like, "I didn't kill him." She's like, "What happened?" "Well, I don't know. Maybe he cut himself shaving. I don't know. I mean, maybe he knew I was coming, got scared, and killed himself." You buy that? No, I don't either. Just everything about this movie just kills me. I can't help it. I will gush about this film. Then he does like a dream sequence where Charles Dance and some others invade his dream sequence. And of course Eddie Murphy thinks it's ridiculous, so he dreams up like an audience watching, giving him an applause. Gives him, basically, he wants a knife. Charles Dance wants this knife. He's like, "You give me the knife, I'll give you the kid." Because I guess the only way they can kill the Golden Child is with the knife, so he goes, "Give us the knife, we'll give you the kid." I love Eddie Murphy goes, "What I say, from my heart, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass!" I love it. But I mean, the little fun dream sequence and goes on, and Charlie Lewis kind of ultimately has to convince them to go to Tibet. And they kind of fall for each other. And probably my favorite scene, because they go to... Oh, well, before that, I think you have he's about to leave, sees the lady behind the thing again. And he goes up and he looks at this stuff, and the owner of the shop goes, "Yak loin. Huh? Yak loin. Good to keep the yang up." Nothing wrong with my yang. I don't know, the dialogue just kills me for some reason. And, also he tells the lady, the one behind which there's something supernatural about it, that's why they're hiding her, but the girl behind the silhouette, so to speak, is like, "And you need to get out more. You can't stand around naked watching soap operas all day. It's unhealthy for you." And shit. But then Eddie Murphy ultimately has to go to Tibet with Charlie Lewis and meets with another great actor, from Big Trouble in Little China as well, the guy who played Abe Shin, Victor Wan. So it was cool that you have Victor Wan, James Hine, capable actors. It's weird that they did Big Trouble in Little China as well. And I think Big Trouble in Little China came out this summer. And Golden Child came out I think around Christmas. I think that was the big mistake, Christmas. I don't know why they put this as Christmas. They should have put it as a summer release. I believe that's what happened. I think that was the mistake. They shouldn't have put... I don't know why they would put... I believe that's the case. Of course, I could probably just look it up, but... Anyway, I mean, the film just has probably one of my favorite lines where, first off, he gets ripped off because he's trying to give the guy money. And, yeah, December 12, 1986, why would you release this in December? To me, that was very stupid. And I think the thing is, I'll get to the rest of the film in a minute. The thing is, this film gets crapped on. Oh, it's not as funny. It made $80 million, so it was a hit. It was a big hit. But the thing is, before that, he did Beverly Hills Cop, which was a gargantuan, and Paramount's like, well, it wasn't as big of a hit as Beverly Hills Cop. I'm like, Beverly Hills Cop is like a one-time thing. Beverly Hills Cop 2 wasn't as big of a hit as Beverly Hills Cop. And Beverly Hills Cop 2 I love as well. But, you know, I just don't get that sort of... But even today, like, a lot of people don't like Golden Child. I don't understand it. I really don't. But again, I don't really get why the hell you would release this in December. I think that was a very bad mistake. I think that was a really bad thing to do with that. I think mainly because I think Beverly Hills Cop was a summer film. If I'm not mistaken. Granted, once in a while you get a film in December that's a hit, but that kind of film, I think a summer release is more fortunate for it. But anyway, one of my favorite lines is, first off, Victor Wong rips him off. He's going to give him $1 for this thing, but he takes you took $100, you know, I want that back. Gives him shit, disappears, and everybody's trying to look for him. And then it gets to this scene where, probably my favorite scene, where it's like, I get that bum who took my 100, I could have got a boat with a motor. Shut up, pal. Yeah, no, pal. Those pals asked what I found. No, pal, you asked what I find you. I'm gonna roll your ass till it bleeds. I love the fuck out of it. And then, right after that, they get to the place. It's like, that's the dude who took my money. They get to the little monster thing, and then, you know, Charlie Lewis shows them that you gotta roll the thing to talk. So what does Eddie Murphy go? I want the knife. Let them ask again. I want the knife. Please. This crazy shit. Like, he actually did the And like, apparently one whose heart is pure can get the knife. And like, Eddie Murphy repeats that going down the stairs, and he goes, and one whose ass is narrow will walk down these steps. If mine is such an ass, then I will be. And basically, his challenge is he has to walk somewhere with this glass of water without spilling a drop. Who you, Monty Hall now? And like, it's all these pillars. And he thinks, oh, I see. You want me to think there's no ground here. Again, acting like a normal guy would. Like, come on, come on, this is silly. I mean, it is a silly film. It is a silly plot. But Eddie Murphy consistently calls on it. Every reaction, he calls on the weirdness of it. That's what I love about it. I mean, that's why I love this film to death, because it's my kind of film, this fantasy, somewhat action, supernatural type of flick, but you have a guy who is a normal guy, he's out of his element, he's over his head, and he says it, not only with great dialogue and awesome performance by Eddie Murphy, but he calls on it. He calls on the bullshit, or he calls on it. Like, oh, you think there's no ground here? He drops a coin, he's like, hey, there's no ground here! And he goes off, and the bridge explodes behind him. He's like, I thought you said I'd stay on the path. And like Victor Wong off screen goes, yes, but you must know when to change the rules. How many people have passed this test? None. 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 Go bust your ass while I get out of here. Then he gets the knife and realizes he has to drink the water to grab the knife. I got the knife. I turn on the goddamn lights. But I mean, just consistently very funny. Gets the knife, goes back, has a scene with first up going through customs. Oh, I want to thank you, my agent here, Agent 69 here. You know, people in Nepal. Yeah, that whole sequence is very funny. I think they actually have YouTube. I'm going to try to put some scenes before this, but Paramount, for some reason, is an asshole. That's why the film is not uploaded. It could be. There's no nudity. It's PG-13 in a good way. But Paramount are assholes, even though they don't give this film any good edition. But for some reason, they're complete assholes about it. For some reason, I have no fucking idea why. Then talking with and that's the thing. Eddie Murphy is using his wits. That's the whole film. Unlike Beverly Hills Cop 3, unlike Nutty Professor, unlike Norbit, unlike Meet Dave, unlike his films. This is not only his prime, but he's using his wits. So he knows that Charles Dant's going to come up with him with cops, and he's like, "Oh, arrest me!" And Charles Dant's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, well, you understand how evidence works here. See, they don't put me in a box, they don't put your knife in a box, it's going to be Exhibit A. And, you know, it could take months to a year. And who knows when you'll see your knife. So he's using his brain, using his wits. That's what I like about it in this character. Then you get to a moment where he has a knife and you have a little action sequence and his woman kind of dies. And basically one thing they know, he's able to find where the golden child is. This the golden child. Randall Teskov, who's sort of been touched by the golden child, helps him out a little bit. And he's gonna take care of his brother Nupsi, you know. But Charles Dance turns into a fucking demon. He's like, "I can see you're busy right now. Catch you later," you know. And he grabs the golden child, and you know they get out of there while Randall Teskov stands there. Obviously, the demon's gonna go after them. He gets in the car. I love what Eddie Murphy says here too, because they're driving, and he's like, "We can't start it." And Golden Child helps that and turns the seatbelts, and Eddie Murphy's reaction like, "What the fuck?" He's driving, he's like out of it, but the Golden Child is like calm as hell, and Eddie Murphy goes, "This must happen a lot when you're..." No, he asked first, "What, you took a Valium? This might happen a lot where you're from. I feel like I'm going to shit all over myself." See, again, natural reaction, like, I was saying the same way, I'd be freaked out too if a fucking demon chased my ass, like, you give you a, what, you've been given a Valium? I love that shit. I thought that was great. I think the one problem I have with the film, the special effects don't age well. I mean, it's 1986, but at the same time, the effects haven't aged too well. Like, the demon itself kind of looks a little bit hokey. So yeah, the effects haven't aged well. When they get to this, almost like a silo type thing, and everyone's trying to stab him, but he gets the knife locked away. It collapses on the demon, they run out. Then they get to Charlotte Lewis, because the Golden Child can help her. Then you have this last stand where Golden Child helps out, and he's able to stab the fucking demon, and it explodes. Then Golden Child's able to save Charlotte Lewis, and they're both fine. And, I don't know, just... I've been gushing about this film for who knows how long, but it deserves it. For any fan of the Golden Child, I think you know what I'm talking about, why. Take a look. Okay, for those who love the Golden Child, I'm glad I'm not alone. I don't understand why this film was not a bigger hit. I don't understand why people hate this film so much. You know, I don't understand where the hate's coming from. I don't get it. It's my favorite because I like the supernatural fantasy story with demons and all sorts of crazy shit. But you have an ordinary guy calling it and calling bullshit. His dialogue is very funny. It moves at a fast pace. This film is about 90 minutes or so, you know, without the credits. I think maybe around 85 minutes. 85 or so minutes. I mean, it's not that long of a movie. Great soundtrack, not only songs, but the score itself. I love the score, like, great score and music. The supporting cast, Charles Dance makes a good, kind of calm, cold-faced villain. The Golden Child was never annoying. He didn't talk a lot, or she didn't talk a lot, so it worked out. Charlotte Lewis was beautiful and charming, I thought. I liked her. Eddie Murphy was at the top of his game. It was nice to see James Hahn, and especially Victor Wan in there. You know, I'm a fan of those guys, especially I love Victor Wan. In fact, it's too bad he had passed away. I would have loved to have seen, like, you know, Splinter. He would have been an excellent voice for Splinter. Perfect voice, Victor Wan. You know, A-Chan. Again, if you can't see it, for the Ninja Turtles, perfect voice for Splinter would have been perfect. But I digress. But yeah, the supporting cast with Eddie Murphy at the top of his game with, like, there's like 20, 30 pieces of dialogue at least that I love in this film. That's rare in comedies today, let alone comedies back then. And hell, just, I don't find, okay, other than the effects being a little bit you know, but it's of their time, This is a very fun, fast-paced, extremely funnier than shit, with a guy who knows, and he has natural reactions to it, of the crazy situations. And for those who don't like the film, fine, but let me give you a challenge. If I didn't find the list of his films. Go back and watch the films he's done in the past 10 years. No, scratch that. The films he's done in the past 20 years, even. So go back and watch Beverly Hills Cop 3, Vampire in Brooklyn, which I thought was going to be more like this. An ordinary guy only thrust into a situation where vampires, like, what are you going to do? Suck me? Suck my dick. You know, or something like that. Like sort of a Fright Night type of theme, but no, it was the opposite. If Vampire Brooklyn was more like this film, it would have been fucking awesome. This film and Fright Night. Put them together, you get an awesome fucking movie, but of course we don't get that. Instead of Charlie Brewster, you know, William Radsdale, put Eddie Murphy in a similar situation. That would have been great. But watch fucking Beverly Hills Cop 3, watch Vampire in Brooklyn, watch Holy Man, watch fucking Nutty Professor, Nutty Professor 2, watch Pluto Nash, watch I Spy, watch The Haunted Mansion, that movie sucked, watch Norbit, watch Meet Dave, and watch Imagine That. Okay, yeah, okay, you want to simplify that? Watch Imagine That, Norbit, Meet Dave, Pluto Nash, Beverly Hills Cop 3, I Spy, Holy Man, Vampire in Brooklyn, and even fucking his performance in the Shrek movies. Put in Nutty Professor films. Watch all that shit, and then go back and watch this film. And I think it'll be a mind blower to some people. Like, wait a minute, wow, this is PG-13, like a lot of those films were. But yet, holy shit, this is really fucking good. This is how Eddie Murphy should do PG-13 films, with his wit, with his mouth, a normal guy, extraordinary circumstances, and he's reacting like we would. Only being much funnier. So yeah, I love Golden Child to death. It's one of my favorite comedies. It's definitely my favorite Eddie Murphy film. I can watch this film again and again and laugh my ass off. I mean, I like his look with the hat. I don't know what you call this kind of hat. Just his look is really cool. Just, you know, great poster. I love the cover art to this film. No features on the DVD. Paramount, fuck you. The only time they give features is if it's fucking Transformers or Star Trek. If it's not Transformers or Star Trek, then fuck off. That's pretty much their reaction to it. Because there's a lot of good comedies they've done among other films that did shit. This film, I'm sorry, this deserves more praise, it deserves more credit, and it deserves more love. And again, if I gotta be the biggest Golden Child fan out there, I'm proud to be. So, Golden Child, it kicks ass, it takes names, and I love it to death. So thanks for watching, and take care. Later.